We talked bourbon today, so I don't think that's it.
I mean, I heard
Yeah,
you talk
I don't think
to
he's
Reynolds
going away
about
from
some
bourbon.
bourbon.
Yeah, he's building the bourbon room, which I didn't ask. I need to ask, I guess tomorrow or something. Like, what's the line of demarcation between bourbon room and bar in a house?
Bar he probably doesn't want to build because he's about to get traded.
You sure about that?
Well, soon enough.
Yeah.
Before he's 30.
Before he's 30? What is he now? 28?
Roughly.
Will be, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a horrible guess then.
So, Shelty looking good.
We're ripping off the Band-Aid finally?
I was gonna say I've got it teed up. I've got Alex's video teed up here.
Oh, I had it teed up too.
Oh, look at us. But yeah, so this is Bryan Reynolds. And then I'm assuming, you guys kind of swarmed him as soon as you were allowed to. But here's what he had to say today.
And what was your level of communication with people in the organization? You hit with Andy, but players, Shelty, Ben, anyone, did that change at all after?
No, I mean, I still talk to some of the guys on the team periodically, just not about this, just about random things. I reply to Bednar's stories and tell him he sucked and stuff, and talk to Shelty a lot, kept him updated on, a bourbon room that we were putting in my house, and I hit with Haynes 3 days a week. The day after, the day before it all came out. I mean, nothing changed from that front.
So that's the one about the bourbon room, right?
Yeah.
Then we had another one before that. And I can't even find it. Do you have the key teed up, Donardo?
Oh,
the other one? The other video?
This is why Donardo's the producer.
Yeah. I shouldn't, yeah. I'm just going off of Alex's feed here. That was the
It was like 2 tweets later.
Do you guys hear it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. You're doing great.
Hold on, this is coming through my speaker for some reason.
This is so bad.
I was so close to saying I was
Here we go.
impressed with you guys.
Here we go.
Ready to go.
Here we go. I got it up.
This has never happened to me before.
And what was your level of communication?
No, that's the same video. Alex, why is that video the one? Hold on. All right. I think this one's
We're
it.
awful.
No, this one's only 17 seconds. Are you sure you tweeted this out, Alex?
Are you sure you?
This is why I went on 93.7 first.
Goodness gracious.
He has a point. It's a very valid one. Let me check my audio one more time.
Is 93.7 hiring?
Not you guys.
I'm not part of this part.
You know what?
I'm
I'm gonna have to
talent.
bring up someone else's video, not Alex's, because I can't even find yours.
I tweeted
Sorry.
it 2 seconds later.
Is this really not playing?
That's the same video.
No, yours isn't.
Why is it coming through my speakers?
This is terrible. This is
Here, I'll
terrible.
turn it up.
Jesus.
What is happening?
We can't hear it. No one can
Okay,
hear
Let me
it.
here's what's gonna
paraphrase
happen.
for you all.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the video on my phone, and you guys are just going to deal with whatever comes through. Yes, Michael, it is going fantastic.
How about play the video from your phone? We'll get the audio through your mic,
Yes.
and then I'll play and
Yes.
we can match up.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Are we ready?
Let's get a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
I'm buffering.
I can't hear it.
This is.
Are you putting it next to your mic?
I don't know where my mic is on the laptop.
Here we go.
What led you to the decision to ask for a trade?
I mean, not getting too much into it. I think just a difference in opinion is, I don't know, I guess what we viewed my worth as a player, I guess. And, that's where we ended up.
Has that been resolved to some degree, given that you're here? or is the request still stand?
I mean, no, nothing's really changed from that, that front. But I wanted to get down here early and get to work. And I was working with Haynes all off season. He came down here, so I wanted to hit with him and finally have a semi-normal spring training for once. So,
Bryan, how do you?
There you go. Thank you, Rob Beer Temple, for having a video. Alex, I swear you didn't tweet one. You didn't tweet.
I mean, he did. That's where I pulled it from.
Up my video. Okay, hang on. I'm DMing it to DiNardo right now.
All right.
No,
Well,
listen,
we just-
the problem isn't not having it. I have it.
No,
you
this
just
is a
couldn't hear the
matter of
audio from
principle
mine.
for me.
I pulled these videos from your tweets, both of them. I'll just say
All right.
this. As much as we screwed up, this is way more entertaining than anything Bryan Reynolds has ever said. I mean,
It
can we
got
at least get that part right?
33,000 views. It got 33,000 views, Jim. It's not one of them from you.
That's the video I played. The one you just tweeted me was the first video that I played.
No, it wasn't. Because
Okay, you know what? You're right. It wasn't. But this is also only a 17-second video.
I'm not giving Elon my best stuff. Screw you.
Is DK hiring any more podcasters so I can run away?
You gotta do a joint project with 93.7.
Oh, man.
He's
Well-
gonna take that well.
Yeah. So
Can
that's
I-
what Bryan Reynolds said, right?
DKTY.
So any sort of hopes that we had that that things were any different really from the last time we really heard on the Reynolds front, I think those hopes are gone. He did mention that his first option is always going to be stay here but get a fair deal, right? But we're not quite there yet. He said it in that quote. We have a difference in value. So, yeah, I guess how big of a story was this down there today? Obviously this was the first thing that everybody kind of talked about.
Yeah.
I
I went into it saying, like, this isn't going to be the best thing I write in spring training, but this might be the most important. Like, just in terms of what the state of the franchise is this year. This is the big story of the day of early spring training. We heard for months only the Pirates side of this because Reynolds decided to make the request and then just stay quiet. That's fine. That was his prerogative. That was his agency's prerogative. But we hadn't heard from him on any of this, getting his side of what's going on. I think everything he said was pretty fair. And of course, a player is only going to say that they want. No player is going to say, I want a player-friendly deal. I don't really care about the organization or anything. But he stressed, like, hey, I want a deal that's fair to both sides. And those reported figures, at least on the Pirates side, you can see how he would view that as not really fair to him. So I don't think there was anything really big or sexy. Basically, everything that he said was more or less what I expected, what I'm sure a lot of other people expected of, no, the trade request is still there because I don't have a deal, but I'm here. I'm going to play hard. I'm not going to let it become a distraction for the team.
So I guess that's my question is, you saw a lot today about the trade request still standing. The video that it took Jim an hour to find, it was kind of a non-answer about the trade request. Was there something else that he said he's still requesting a trade, or is it just kind of a feeling that nothing's changed?
No, that video was the only time. Him saying that nothing's changed in terms of the request, if he's, wants to
See, I don't
trade or
know if I
anything.
got that nothing's changed in terms of the trade request. I don't know if I got that out of that. Maybe I
That's
was just
exactly
tired
what
of
he said.
waiting.
That's
Yeah.
literally what I got.
It's not what I got, but maybe I just got tired of waiting and started
Here.
playing on my phone like Alex earlier.
Then I'll just say that, yeah, it hasn't changed.
Okay,
I mean, the man said, trade me. And he came out
Yeah.
today and said, nothing's changed. So that's what I took out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you should take out of it.
maybe I read people better.
I don't really
He
know how
doesn't want to trade
anybody
anymore.
could read Bryan Reynolds because he's just
That is
emotionless.
accurate.
I had to like make that point. Like he looks disgruntled. It's like that's Bryan Reynolds. That's not
Yeah.
disgruntled. That's just Bryan Reynolds being Bryan Reynolds.
He's
That's
just
like-
mad he has to talk to someone. He's like if Tyler were famous.
Yeah,
That's
I was just about to say that. He's like me.
For real.
I hate people too.
You know what? Honestly, even that's not a great take because I feel like Tyler's
true.
even way better.
I am pretty
Like, we
entertaining.
would never get this out of Bryan Reynolds.
I also have to have 6
Yeah.
beers before I'm entertaining. So
I
maybe
mean,
we get
that's-
Bryan Reynolds in that bourbon room and we see what happens.
That's true.
You guys need to do an episode in the bourbon room. That needs to be the exception to the player rule.
Yeah.
That will
I
get
would
you on the
do-
intro.
I would allow Bryan Reynolds on here because we don't really say too many bad things about him because he's good.
All right, I'm glad we've gotten to the point where Jim allows Bryan Reynolds to be on our podcast.
I'll allow Bryan Reynolds. If
All
Bryan
right,
Reynolds
Anthony
was-
Alford.